On the previous episode, we learned how to get our primer ready for paint. We learned how to block it down with the appropriate sandpaper, use our DA to refine the scratches from blocking and find the imperfections that should not be present before we go ahead and paint. We learned how to get the insides ready, the labels to tape off, how to prep, get it cleaned up for paint. So stay tuned, we're gonna mask up and get it ready for paint. Wagwan viewers and subs, welcome back to class. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do now, guys, is we're gonna be doing some back masking. As I mentioned in the previous video, I will not be removing a lot of these parts because the car is so old. A lot of these parts are fragile and I already broke a few stuff and I don't intend to break anything else. So this is considered to be back masking, guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to close up as much of these hole spaces that I have here to make sure that no paint is gonna get inside. I'm mostly worried about the glass and the overspray. Now when you're taping off the VIN, guys, try to get one end of the tape perfectly on top of it. Rip that off and then highlight the creases. So you know exactly where to cut. Just like that. Now guys, you want to make sure that you go ahead and secure both sides of the glass so that no overspray gets on either side. And now, after about an hour and a half later, I am finally done with all the masking. And then now it's now to spend another 10 minutes to get these all cleaned up. So guys, when you talk about painting your entire car, just prepare and know that it's gonna be a lot of work, a lot of time. Just don't go in there thinking it's gonna be a 1, 2, 3. It's really not. So I'm going to start off my cleaning with the water-based cleaner. Try not to get it too wet, but wet enough and get enough on there where you can get a good clean. Because what you don't want is you don't want to be spraying and then there is water coming up from everywhere, leaking onto your clean, fresh paint. That's gonna cause some reaction. It's gonna cause your job to look weird. And once you're done with the water-based cleaning, now it's time for a second wipe with solvent-based cleaner. Basically guys, the water-based cleaner is more for dirt and heavy contaminations that might be on your panel, while the solvent-based cleaner is more for handprints and eliminating those leftover grease that might be present. And one final clean before you spray. Get your tack cloth, and this will pick up all those little leftover lint that might be hanging around your paint job. Now that we have all our panels inside here nice and clean, and we have some sealer mixed up, I'm using the Techno Base Coat Gun 1.3 tip size, and I'm going to be spraying at around 26 psi. Now you don't want your sealer to be too thin, you want a little bit of meat on there. The sealer that I'm using is the Sikkens brand sealer. The mix ratio is 3:1:1, which means this have the sealer, then you have the hardener, and then the reducer. I will not be going crazy sealing every single part on these panels. I just want to get some sealer on the areas that are exposed when each panels are open. Just like that, we're all done with the sealing stage. Now we're gonna let these flash for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna start to applying our paint. This paint is a 2:1 mix ratio. I'm using the same PPS cup, same liner, and I'm gonna mix it the exact same way that the technical data sheet says I should mix it. So because I'm probably gonna get a full cup out of here, so I'm going to the 6 on the 2:1 ratio mix right there. And then once you do that, you get your reducer and pour it to the following 6. And just like that, I have a 2:1 mix ratio. Time to paint, I'm using the same gun, same pressure, same tip size. And this is how we're looking after 2 coats of base, guys. Now I didn't focus my paint too much in the middle, just on the outer areas that's really gonna show once the door is on the car and the panels get put back on. All these areas will be enclosed. So 2 coats of base here, guys, looking good. I can't believe my baby's already coming back to life. I am so happy right now. All that hard work is finally showing what's gonna happen later on when this project is finished. So if you want the work to come out good, guys, you have to be willing to invest some time here, because it's not gonna just happen by itself. You have to put in some hours, put in some days, and that's the result you're gonna expect when you're done. 95% of the work is just prepping, taping, getting everything ready for paint. Paint is just 5%, and if the prepping is no good, then that means the paint job will be no good. So we're gonna let that flash for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna start applying some clear. So here I have the chroma clear. I enjoy using this clear, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the gloss on here using the same PPS cups. The mix ratio for this is always here on the side, and it's a 3-to-1 mix. And here we go, guys, time for the gloss. Now I'm using the 4600 limited edition trophy truck Sogola paint gun. There's a 1.2 XL inside here. Here where I have my fluid set over here, it's at half turn. And we are all done with painting the inside, guys. Now, one thing I do recommend, as soon as you're done clearing, remove the tape from the VIN numbers, or else you're gonna have a very hard time getting it off once it's time, like if you wait till tomorrow or the next day. So the best time to take them off is right after you're done clearing. So now that we got all this done, once these are dry on the inside, we're gonna flip them over and paint the outside.